Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to get a compiler onto your computer for compiling C++. And so we're going to use the build tools that come from Visual Studio 2017. So this is VsDevCmd.bat, and you might want to click this download Visual Studio. We're not going to do that. We're going to go up here to the downloads link, and we're going to scroll down to the other stuff, and we're going to look for, there we go. Under the other tools, we have the build tools for Visual Studio 2017, and if you read the description, it says it's got the compilers and libraries that we need. So that's what we're going to download, and we're going to do that. And I'm not going to do that. It's going to, all right. So that is downloaded, and we're going to say yes to that. And press continue. Okay, so we want to check this box right here, the Visual C++ build tools. And if you look over here, you notice it's going to have in the summary, it's going to tell us what we're after. And I think that's exactly what we want. Let me check this one. Yeah, I think that's what we want. So we're going to press install. We're going to leave the location where it is, and we're going to say install. Now, the reason we're going with this approach and not the full Visual Studio is this is all we need. We don't need the rest of Visual Studio to write C++ code, and so this is easier and smaller. Even though it's 3 gigs, it's still less than the whole Visual Studio would be to get what we need. All right, so you can see it's acquiring. We're going to let it do its thing, and we'll get back to this video once that's done. Okay, well, we're done, and it says we need to restart our computer, so I will see you back on the... All right, so we're back after the reboot, and we're going to finish this up. And so I've opened PowerShell, and I'm going to use it to create the things that we need. And so I'm going to use the test path command to see if the directory that I need exists, and it doesn't. So now I'm going to use the new item command to create a file, and I'm going to add the force to make it if it doesn't exist. And so now we can see there it's made the directory in my documents in the Windows PowerShell, and it's created this Microsoft.PowerShell_profile.ps1. Now, one reason to use this is if you are if you've connected OneDrive, OneDrive will sort of take over your documents, and this will fix that. And also, the file and directory are a little bit hard to name, and if you name it slightly wrong, it just won't work. Okay, so now here's my text editor. This happens to be Adam, and the contents here that you can see on the screen are what I want in that file that was just created for me. So I'm going to go ahead and open that that directory, which is there under Documents, under Windows PowerShell, and that's the file that I want. And you can see that currently it's empty. And what I want are the contents here. So I'm going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to put it over here. Okay, and I'm going to save that. Okay, now, what I've got there on line 11 should be the correct directory for my Visual Studio 2017 Build Tools install. The one that's below it with the hashtag on line 12 is if you've installed Visual Studio 2015. And yes, I do notice that there's a 14 in the Visual Studio 2015. That's because the compiler was version 14. They've changed the install directories for 2017, and so that's why I have both here. If you've got 2017 installed, you can erase line 12. If you have 2015 installed, then you should erase a line 11 and then erase just the hashtag on line 12, and that should work for you. All right, so I'm going to save this like I did, and then I'm going to restart PowerShell. And what should happen is you should try to run that script, but I don't have the correct execution policy. So if you want to check it, you can get the execution policy, and it's going to say restricted. So I'm going to exit PowerShell. I'm going to search for PowerShell and right-click on PowerShell, and I'm going to open it as administrator because I want to change the permissions. And so I still get the same thing. Now I can set the execution policy to be remote signed, spell signed right, remote signed. I'm going to say yes to that and type exit and start PowerShell one more time. And now I don't get the warning about not being able to run it. I also get a thing talking about loading the profile. And if I type CL now, I get that it's found the compiler and it's looking for input. So once you have that done, you are done and ready to go. All right, that's it.